So today I'm doing something a little bit different. I've thought about doing it before, but I am reacting to one of these over-the-top news stories. This one made it on national news on Fox Business. And I kind of want to know what you guys think, but this is what I think about this ridiculous article, and I'm going to give you the reasons why it's ridiculous. On a national news source, Fox Business. Has the cost of Disney World become unaffordable for the average American family? Recent guests of Walt Disney World complained that price hikes have gone too far. Now, just to start this and put you in the spot where my mind is, I remember going to Disney as a kid. I got to go twice. My mom couldn't afford to take us. Our grandma brought us because it was expensive. It was very expensive, even back then. And guess what? We didn't stay on property. No, we stayed at a timeshare resort that we were getting free rooms for because we sat through the presentation. It's never been a cheap vacation. So let's see what it says. A family of four reached out to Fox News Digital after taking a recent trip, saying that they had sticker shock over their last visit. So this is true. Gone is the Magical Express that previously served as a courtesy shuttle. They stopped it this year. It used to be a free airport shuttle from the airport to a Disney hotel if you were staying on property. So they shelled out $200 for private transportation. I'm an Uber driver. It costs no more than $50 round trip to get a regular Uber to and from the airport. And there's only 4 of them. So they can take a regular Uber or Lyft for $50. Even if they're surge, 80? I mean, at the most. So they chose to spend $200 on private transportation. Not Disney's fault. And anyway, the Magical Express was not private transportation, so it's not equivalent. Park hopper tickets cost $2,550 for 5 days. So 2,550. So that equals $127.50 per day per park. Well, per day, because they got a park hopper. $127 per day is not ridiculous. If you look at their website, if you go to buy a ticket, a one-day park hopper ticket's $160, $170. And I mean, $127 is not bad when you get 2 parks. That's less than you can go to Universal for 2 parks for 1 day as well. I mean, I'm looking at going to Dollywood in a month, and a 1 park ticket there is $95. That doesn't include the water park or anything, so it's not that much different. And Disney is well known to be the most expensive park, or one of them. And I mean, they just built a $400 or $500 million roller coaster. Like, this is the stuff you get when you pay that kind of ticket prices. Their 4 nights of lodging inside the resort cost $3,780 for the parents and 2 kids. That's $945 a night. Let's look, shall we, at Priceline right now. I'm going to choose a weekend, and we're going to go to Disney World. And I'm going to show you how cheap it can be. Now, no, you might not get to stay on property. Walt Disney World, and there are partner resorts, if you didn't know. So you still get a free bus to and from the park. A lot of the time it comes with free breakfast, which on-site hotels do not. I'm going to choose an expensive weekend. Let's choose 4th of July weekend. We're going to stay from, let's see, how many nights did they stay? They stayed 4 nights. We're going to stay Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night. Check out on Tuesday. So July 1st through July 5th. I promise we're going to find something below $945 a night. There we go. Rosen Inn, Lake Buena Vista, 7.8 out of 10 guest reviews, 3.5-star hotel. It's a very popular hotel. Including taxes and fees, $378. That's for 4 nights. That's not per night. That is for 4 nights, July 4th weekend. So they spent $3,780 when they could have spent $378. That's literally 10 times the price of what they needed to spend, which irks me that they did that, which means they stayed in a luxurious resort, and then complained that the luxury resort was expensive. If you want to save money, there are ways to do it. Once inside the park, they spent $300 on Genie Plus passes for their entire trip to skip the lines. If you didn't know, this is what replaced Fast Pass, and yes, it does cost $15 per person per day. But, again, it's an add-on, especially if you're at the parks for 5 days and you have a park hopper. Why do you need to skip the lines? You're going to have plenty of time to ride everything in 5 days. The parents said they paid $950 on sit-down meals. This is over 5 days, so $950 divided by 5 days divided by 4 people. That's $50 per day per person almost. And another $700 on snacks, which is another $35. So they spent $85 roughly on snacks and souvenirs per person per day. Now, yeah, if you want to eat in the park every day, every meal, yeah, it's probably going to cost that much. But you know what's all around Disney World? Plenty of restaurants, plenty of other places, especially if you stay in one of these partner hotels. Rosen Inn is right by the outlets, which has all sorts of restaurants, cheap and expensive, from fine dining to Denny's, and also fast food. Even if you don't have a car, you can order Uber Eats, and even with all the fees, you're not paying $85 per person per day for food. That's crazy. I understand getting lunch because you don't want to leave the park and come back. But you don't have to get breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the park every single day. And all told, the cost of the visit rounded out to $8,480. Airfare pushed it upwards of $10,000. Airfare is more expensive than it's ever been right now. That's not Disney's fault either. And I'm not fighting for Disney. Yes, they are expensive. Yes, they are money hungry, but this has never not been a thing. And I don't see what... That's why I have a Universal pass and a SeaWorld and Busch Gardens pass and don't have a Disney pass. Because I go to the ones that provide you more value for your money as a pass holder and less annoyances like park reservations and Genie Plus, and choose not to go to Disney. Even though I live in Orlando, I can choose from all these parks, and Disney as a whole is probably the best of the 3 groups. Universal's really close. But I've been to each Disney park once since living here, where I go to Universal pretty much every week, and SeaWorld. This person said, feel like Disney is pricing people out. Can the average working American family really afford this? I've been coming to Disney since I was 6 years old. I'm 39 now. My kids thought Disney was magical, and so for me the cost was worth it. But I see that it's not the same Disney it was. But it is. Disney raises their prices about 2% or 3% per year, and guess what? That's generally the inflation. Right now, they're probably below the curve of inflation with how much it's been going up in recent years. Disney has never been for the average American family to go every year. Six Flags is somewhere you can go every year. Don't know why that just happened. Cedar Point is somewhere you can afford to go every year. Disney is somewhere you go once or twice in a lifetime for a lot of people. For the average American family, that's what you can afford. Even if you want to go all out and spend $10,000 on a family vacation, yeah, you can do that once every 10 years if you're an average American family. But you can't do it every year. It's like going to Hawaii. You do it once every so many years, every 10 or 20 years, unless you have a lot of money and can afford to do these things or allocate your money, which is what I do. But, sorry, there's ads all over this website, which isn't surprising. It's a news website. But so I wanted to go down here. There were comments, and they're live feeding, so I haven't seen the ones that are on here right now. I would love to read some of them and react to what people are saying to this. Let's get rid of the calculator. Yeah, this person's very right. Since the advent of credit cards, this has happened in every phase of entertainment world, as well as things used for everyday living. People are able to do almost anything they want and worry about it later. If they had to pay cash, most of this would not be happening. But also, on a side note, we wouldn't have a lot of the entertainment we have now, just like they didn't before the advent of credit cards. Because you have to have people that can go. Let's see. I was long ago discouraged from going to Disneyland, but not by price or politics, but of crowds and long lines to do anything. If they can charge excessive price and still fill the park, business model says they're doing the right thing. I tend to agree with that. Charge what you can. Let's see. Took my kids to Disneyland several times. Decided that it's a ripoff with everything overpriced, and B, we spent more time waiting in lines than on the rides. This is why we decided not to venture to Disney World. But yet they did it several times. You must hate it. Waiting 4 hours in line for a 2-minute ride isn't worth my time or money. I went once back in the early 90s and vowed to never go back. It was expensive then, and wall-to-wall people made for a miserable experience. Don't know what he's waiting 4 hours in line for. I mean, it happens occasionally, but, you know. This person says, yeah, it was costly when we went in 1985. Disney has become undesirable for anyone with a conscience. It's a corporate behemoth that hasn't done anything good in this world for a long time. Nothing at all. None of my 30-something kids will even let my grandkids go. And we live 30 minutes away. Yeah, if you have 30 kids, you probably can't afford Disney. Just saying. Let's see. Our adult family of 4 had a very mediocre dinner at Space 220 in Epcot. No alcohol, 1 dessert. Bill was $275, and that doesn't include the price of a ticket or Epcot. Well, yeah, it's a themed restaurant experience. This person says, I took my kids scuba diving in Cayman Islands, and it was less expensive than 5 days at Disney. So yes, I agree. The only magic you see is how fast your money disappears. Yeah. I mean, scuba diving is a pretty cheap activity compared to theme parks. And go scuba diving. Go scuba diving, then go to Disney if you want. Let's see. Go visit the Smithsonian Library of Constitution. Read the Constitution together as a family. Visit a Civil War battlefield. Blah, blah, blah. I know there were some good ones when I looked the other day. You're paying money to stand in line and purchase overpriced water. First of all, you can get free water at anywhere with a fountain drink or a water fountain. Never understood this fascination of giving people money to stand in line and then give them more money to move ahead in line. There's so much to see in this world that does not include lining the pockets of a greedy company like Disney. This person says a similar thing. Take them outside and do things that sound boring, like astronomy. Yeah. So, I mean, as you're seeing, like, most people are either saying, yeah, it is expensive, but I go anyway, or it's expensive, so I don't go. And that's what it is. It's an expensive experience, and people who don't like waiting in lines obviously don't go to Disney. If you hate theme parks, you're not going to like Disney. Now, if you hate roller coasters, you still like Disney because they got plenty of other things to do. I think a lot of these people, too, I think a lot of them just, in general, have never been. Yeah, this person said with 4 kids, places like Disney were always out of our price range. This person says Disney was affordable in the 70s and 80s and anyone could go. No, that's not true. Yeah, this person said 15 years ago they spent 4 days, spent $8,000. But again, one of the other points I'm trying to bring up is, like I showed you, you can get a hotel on a holiday weekend for 4 nights for $378, including fees. No, that one does not have breakfast, I don't think. No. So you can get fast food breakfast, get a snack in the park for lunch, and then eat a nice dinner somewhere. That's $20 or $30 a person at Miller's or Fridays or somewhere along those lines. And you're spending half of what these people spent on food, a tenth on hotels. And the tickets are what they are, but you don't have to get the park hopper. So let me pull the calculator back up, actually. So that's $378 for the hotel. We're going to take these exact same tickets because the ticket price sounded very reasonably normal. Sorry for all the scrolling. So the tickets were $25.50. 2550. This is for 4 people. I am saying you can easily get away with spending $40 per person per day on all your food and snacks. Souvenirs are completely optional. And even 40, you can do better if you pack some granola bars. Disney will let you bring in any food that doesn't have to be microwaved or frozen or refrigerated. So you can bring in candy bars, you can bring in granola bars, trail mix, little snacks to have so that you don't even really need lunch. You can make it through your day, get to dinner. But I'm going to call it 40 per person per day. So that's times 4 times 5. And that's $3,728 for a 5-day vacation. Now, doesn't include airfare. Wherever you're from, that's going to make a difference. But Orlando does have one of the cheaper airports because they have every discount airline. So a lot of the times you can get round trips to Orlando, even now, for $100 or less, especially if you live on the East Coast. So if you add another, we'll say $400 for the airfare, you're right around $4,000 for a 5-day vacation, which is $206 per person per day. That's really not that bad. Is it cheap? No, of course, camping and stargazing and snorkeling, yeah, those are going to be cheaper than going to a theme park with $100 million rides. However, anyone can save up $1,000 for a week vacation per person if you really try. I hope you found this interesting. I know I was on a rant for most of it, all of it. Just seeing articles like this just makes me kind of lose my mind. Again, the whole thesis of this is that someone went on a luxurious vacation, booking all the upgrades, the nicest hotel, the extra priced items, souvenirs, and then complain about how much it costs. You do all that anywhere, and it's going to be an expensive vacation. But anyway, if you enjoy theme parks as much as me, you'll find a way to make it there, and you can do it on your own budget. Or if you got $10,000 to blow on it, do it, because you'll get a better experience. Anyway, I'm Corbin. Thanks for watching Corbin's Coasters and More.